So welcome to our yin practice. What we're going to do today is we're going to focus upon the muladhara chakra. We're going to connect yin poses to this chakra, which means that we're mainly going to focus upon the earth element. We're going to focus upon the stomach meridian, which runs the front side of the body, front side of the legs. For now, see if you want to come and sit on top of something, so maybe using the block or maybe using a pillow. And then from there, see if you want to bring your butt a little bit higher, so the hips are a bit higher than the knees. From here, we're going to bring the shoulders all the way up and down. Closing your eyes here. And then from here, see if you want to turn your hands around, placing the back of the hands onto the legs, connecting your ring finger with the top of your thumb. Using a mudra that helps us to stimulate the earth element, stimulate the element connected to this root chakra, first chakra that is the foundation of all the other chakras. A foundation that is also connected to that strong sense of self, that strong foundation that we build for ourselves, the strength that we have within. Notice if you can drop the shoulders just a little bit more while keeping the back straight. Observing how your mind is doing at the moment. Observing if you notice that you want to slow down a little bit more. Slowing down in the thoughts or maybe physically in your body. And see if you want to keep your chin in one line with the ground, or if you slowly want to drop the chin towards the ground. Dropping the chin all the way down towards the chest, letting gravity pull on your head, but at the same time keeping the spine as straight as possible. Even though gravity is pulling on our body, it's that inner strength that still enables us to carry our physical body, but also to carry our mind. All the things associated with the strength within. See what you want to set as your intention. What your intention is in relation to this root chakra, in relation to slowing down, in relation to the strength that is your foundation. And slowly rolling your head back up. And from there we release the mudra, placing the hands in front of you, going onto hands and knees. And then see if you want to use a block or if you want to use a pillow. I will show the pose with a pillow today. What we're gonna do, so you're gonna fold your pillow in half, or you are gonna grab your block and then slowly rolling it down onto the back, lifting the butt up and then placing your pillow or your block underneath the butt. Now if it hurts in the tailbone, especially if you're using a block, then see if you want to place it a little bit higher. If it hurts in the lower back, place your block a little bit lower. For the pillow, you can put it underneath the butt so you have that space here. And then you have the option of keeping your feet into the ground, or maybe you feel like stretching the legs out. Closing your eyes here. You can let your hands rest onto the belly, or you can bring those arms next to your body. Noticing how there is maybe a slight compression in the lower back. There is also this soft opener on the front side of the body. Connecting to your breath, releasing the shoulder blades into the ground for the first yin pose of our yin practice here today. more deep breaths here. Slowly placing the feet back in the ground if you chose that option to stretch the legs out. And then slowly lifting the butt off the ground. Moving yourself down here. And from there, placing your hands onto the belly, slowly moving your knees from side to side. And from there, slowly turn onto your side. Bringing your arm underneath your head and then just taking a couple moments with your eyes closed here on your side. And slowly moving back up. And from here we're going to go for butterfly. So placing the soles of your feet against each other. Two options here. Or you can keep the feet a little bit closer. Or maybe you feel like stretching them a bit more out. So you get more of the diamond shape. See which option feels as the right option for you at the moment. And you can always grab a block or a couple of pillows, place it in front of you so you can place those arms on top and then dropping the head here. Or maybe you feel with or without blocks or pillows that you want to move a little bit more to the front. See what your option is for this butterfly. Butterfly is a pose that is not only a strong hip opener, but also helps us to release in the neck and the shoulders and the lower back. The reason that we're doing this pose in our muladhara focused practice is because this hip opener really connects the earth with the lower part of the pelvic floor. It helps us to really release here, bringing that root chakra really close towards the earth. Taking 5 more deep breaths here in butterfly. And slowly rolling yourself all the way back up. Bring your knees back together again. Hands behind you, and then slowly drop the knees from side to side. From there, slowly turning onto all fours. And then moving down onto the belly. Placing one cheek in the ground, arms next to your body for a moment. And then taking deep breaths here, maybe closing your eyes just to release a bit more in the hips, maybe also in the lower back. From here, placing your hands a little bit more to the front. Elbows are going to be in one line with the shoulders. And from here, to see if you want to look to the front. You can always close your eyes if it feels more relaxed. Also choose to drop your head here, but then make sure you don't sink in the shoulders. I'm going to go for swings. And then notice if your butt is active, if those muscles are tightening. And in that case, see if you can tighten them a little bit more, and then on a deep exhale, letting them go. Want to have those soft belly muscles, soft butt muscles throughout this pose. if you want more. See if you slowly want to push the hands into the ground, stretching out the arms for seal. But in this case, make sure that the butt is still relaxed and the pubic bone stays on the ground. Gonna take 5 more deep breaths here. And slowly on your next exhalation, coming all the way down, placing your hands underneath your forehead, or you can place your forehead on the ground, elbows in the ground, hands together behind your head for pranam. Moment to thank yourself for doing this practice. It's also a moment that that helps us to visualize being thankful for everything the earth is providing us with, both physically as well as mentally, emotionally. If your hands are still in prana, then see if you also want to bring those hands underneath your forehead, releasing here for 5 more deep breaths. And from here, placing your hands underneath the shoulders, moving yourself back to all fours, curl your toes. On a deep exhalation, moving yourself back, you can release those elbows in the ground again, dropping your head onto the ground, but keeping your toes curled for a toe squat. taking 5 more deep breaths here. Slowly coming back onto all fours. See if you want to drop your head and then slowly moving from side to side, making soft circles here with the ankles. And from there, see if you want to place the knees a bit wider than the hips, or moving down into a child's pose. Also here, deep breaths in and full deep breaths out. Slowly moving back onto all fours. Dropping the head down and slowly moving yourself from side to side. From here, see if you want to grab a pillow or a block, just in case you need it that it's next to you. What we're gonna do is we're gonna place the hands in front of us, curl your toes, and then slowly moving yourself into a Hindi squat. Another way of coming into this pose is to first stand up and then placing the feet a little bit wider than the hips, and then from there slowly moving yourself down. So see what is the easiest way for you to come into this pose. Now if this is quite intense, you can always grab a block or a pillow, come and sit on top of it. If you can't put the heels down on the ground, you can always place blocks now underneath your heels. In that case, doing that on both sides. The blocks that I'm using are actually quite high, so maybe you want to grab blocks that are a bit smaller, or just use a couple of books or magazines, whatever you have laying around. From there, see if you want to bring the chin all the way down onto the chest. Bring your hands behind your head. You can always bring a little bit of yang into this pose by slowly moving to the front and back, or maybe you just want to drop those arms, keep it static here. Taking one more deep breath here. And slowly putting the hands into the ground, stretching your legs out. Dropping your head here. See if you slowly want to move from side to side, or maybe you feel like moving it down onto hands and knees. And then dropping your head, moving from side to side here. From there, slowly turning around, moving onto your back. And then slowly bringing those knees towards the chest. Little circles here. And the other way around. From there, placing the feet a little bit wider than the hips, dropping the knees towards each other. And then closing your eyes here, placing your hands onto the belly. Deep breaths here. from here, slowly bringing the feet in one line with the hips again. And then see if you want to place that right ankle on top of your left leg, just below the knee. This is option 1. If you want a little bit more, bringing the knee towards the chest, holding on to the inside of the leg here. You can always see if you want to maybe stretch that left leg out into the air, depending on what feels like your option here today. More deep breaths on this side. And then slowly bringing both feet in the ground again, moving the knees from side to side. from there, gonna do the same thing on the other side. So again, first option is the left ankle just below the right knee on the upper leg. Or maybe you feel like bringing that knee towards you, grabbing hold of the inside of your right leg. Or maybe stretching that leg out. See what your option is for this side. Taking 5 more deep breaths on this side. And slowly placing those feet back into the ground. Maybe using those windshield wipers again. And Rufus has joined us as well for the final relaxation. So whenever you're ready, see if you want to stretch the legs out. Placing those arms next to your body. From there, maybe bringing the shoulder blades a little bit more towards each other. And then taking a real deep breath in. Exhale. Noticing how the earth is carrying you here. How wherever you are, the earth will always be there to support you in whatever you want to do. Taking these final moments of this yin practice to release any remaining tension. To channel that inner strength that you carry with you every single day. Slowly start moving your fingers again. Moving your toes. Making little circles with the wrists, with the ankles. And then see if you want to stretch yourself all the way out. And slowly moving those knees again from side to side. And then from there, rolling onto your side. Taking a couple of deep breaths here. And from there, when you're ready, moving yourself back up to a seated position. And I want to thank you for joining this practice here today. I wish you a beautiful day. Namaste.